Good evening, welcome along. It's the Transfer Centre and there are just 12 days to go now until this window closes. Remember, Rachel, it's earlier than usual, August the 9th, and once again, one of England's World Cup heroes is in the spotlight tonight.
Good evening, yes. Jordan Pickford is currently Everton's #1, but Chelsea have made him their #1 target. The full story to come.
This window is certainly heating up. We'll bring you the developments on another of Chelsea's targets, Gonzalo Higuain, and how that could pave the way for Alvaro Morata's exit. We'll also hear from Jurgen Klopp on who could be leaving Anfield and those Jose Mourinho comments.
Make Jose smile. Yeah, at least it doesn't happen too often, so if it's about because of Liverpool, well done.
And there's an update on Arsenal's transfer dealings and the future of Alex Iwobi from Unai Emery.
But first tonight, with just 12 days of this transfer window to go, could one of the biggest moves of the summer be England's #1, Jordan Pickford? We understand Chelsea have now made the Everton goalkeeper their top transfer target. If as expected, Thibaut Courtois moves to Real Madrid in this window. It's our understanding that Chelsea are yet to make contact, but Everton are likely to resist any approach for the keeper they signed last summer for £30 million. As we've reported, Kasper Schmeichel and Jack Butland are also on Chelsea's shortlist, but we understand today that Pickford ranks above both of them. Well, Chelsea head coach Maurizio Sarri, who previously wanted the now Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson, who he worked with, of course, in Napoli, will hold talks with Courtois before making a final decision on this. Courtois has just 12 months left on his current deal, and he could leave for nothing next summer. Of course, everybody knows Pickford had a standout campaign for Everton last season. He made the 4th most saves of any goalkeeper in this Premier League. But his save percentage of 67% was only the 17th best. He kept 10 clean sheets, and only one keeper made more saves from shots outside of the box. And his passing wasn't bad either. He's good with the ball at his feet. He ranks 9th for successful passes. Now, like some of his fellow England teammates, Pickford's stock has risen greatly after some standout performances at the World Cup in Russia. 21st Club are a company who calculate player values, and they valued Pickford at £25 million before this summer's World Cup, but £35 million after it. That's a 40% increase. Harry Maguire's value rose the most following his performances in Russia. His rose by 100%.
OK, well, I'm being right across this story for us today. Now, if Jordan Pickford was to move, what a massive move it would be. I think this is going to be very, very difficult, though, for Chelsea. Of course, he is Everton's player of the season last season, and Everton do not need to sell anybody at all. They're in a very strong position financially. So I think if Chelsea were to try and start talks and put in a bid, I think the Everton owner, Farhad Moshiri, is not somebody who needs money at all. He's made it very, very clear that he's building something for the future at Everton, and I think Jordan Pickford is very much part of his plans.
Gavi, of course, you were at the World Cup in Russia with England. When you look at the situation here, what a rise this lad has had. 1 minute at Sunderland and he's right in the headlines there. Then he gets his move to Everton, then he's a star for Southgate. You witnessed the lot. I mean, this is a meteoric rise if ever there was one.
I mean, it is recently that he was being relegated with Sunderland, as you said.
Yeah.
I was at Wembley when he made his England debut. Even going into the World Cup in Russia, he was not England's #1. A lot of people thought Jack Butland was going to be England's #1. I think when he finally got the nod and got that #1 shirt, he'd only made 4 or 5 appearances for England. But then, wow, what a World Cup he had. Some of the saves he made. At the beginning of the World Cup, all the fans in Russia were talking about Harry Kane. He was the player they wanted to see, the England player they wanted to see. Dele Alli. By the end of it, everyone was stopping us talking about Jordan Pickford. They wanted to know all about Jordan Pickford. And the memory I have from the World Cup, of course, is that save in the penalty shootout against Colombia from Carlos Bacca, one of the greatest saves of all time.
You're not wrong, Cavi. Now it's been spoken about in terms of a Chelsea target. Simon Grayson joined us here in studio earlier on, Cavi. This is what he said about this potential move we're hearing about Pickford.
Everybody expected there'd be a few people that'd be knocking on Everton's door looking for a new target if clubs were looking for a goalkeeper, and why not go for a real good English young goalkeeper to fill the void if teams are looking for a new keeper. He's a real down-to-earth lad who wants to work and improve. Could never get him off the training pitch. He always wanted, even when day before a game, he's wanted to do extra shooting practice with the strikers and competition. He hated the goal people scoring past him.
OK, let's stay at Chelsea because we're expecting them to be busy in the next 13 days or so. Now, Gonzalo Higuain is one of their top targets, but Juventus want more than £50 million, even though he's 30. New Chelsea head coach Maurizio Sarri knows Higuain well from their time together at Napoli. Now, Juventus are willing to sell Higuain after signing Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, of course, Chelsea will only move for Higuain if they sell Alvaro Morata. Now, he wants to return to Italy. AC Milan are interested, but they don't want to pay anywhere near Chelsea's £58 million asking price. Now, we could have the situation where clubs like Chelsea sell players after the English window is closed on the 9th of August, because, of course, the Italian clubs can buy foreign players until the 25th of August. Staying at Chelsea, and they are getting very close to making a signing. That signing is Daniele Rugani. Juventus are asking for about £40 million for the central defender. Chelsea see Rugani as a long-term replacement for defenders like Gary Cahill and David Luiz. Now, we're expecting Manchester United to sign probably 2 players before the window closes. Will one of them be Spurs defender Toby Alderweireld? Well, United want him, but they are not going to pay the £50 million asking price for a player who is 29. He also has only a year left on his Spurs contract, but they do have the option of extending it for a year until 2020. But that would also trigger a £25 million release clause next summer, and Spurs don't want him to leave on the cheap. Now, of course, another option for Manchester United is Harry Maguire. But it's going to be really difficult to convince Leicester to sell the England defender. United prepared to pay £65 million, but that is nowhere near enough as far as Leicester are concerned. They're under no pressure to sell, and they see Maguire as an integral part of their plans going forward. Now, if Maguire does move on, his former club Hull would receive 15% of the transfer fee. Staying at Manchester United, and Jose Mourinho is still very interested in this man. Remember him? Ivan Perisic. The Croatia winger came very close to moving to United last summer, but they could not agree a fee. Inter Milan wanted £48 million last summer, and they would want even more now after Perisic was one of the stars of the World Cup. Another option, of course, for United is Willian from Chelsea. Let's go from Manchester United to Liverpool. Simon Mignolet could have played his last game for Liverpool. Besiktas have contacted Liverpool about him. Liverpool, of course, have spent a world record £67 million on Brazil goalkeeper Alisson, and that means they're potentially willing to sell Mignolet or Loris Karius. Now, they've already sold another goalkeeper this summer, Danny Ward, to Leicester. Here's what Jurgen Klopp has had to say today about Mignolet.
Do you expect Loris to stay this season, though, and Simon?
2 weeks ago, I don't know. We will really see that. We don't need 54 players and 20 goalkeepers. That's how it is. So, but can somebody come and ask us for? Okay, we have him for £4 or whatever. No, of course not. They are quality players, all of us, and so we are not in a situation that we have to do something. But if somebody's going to be always open for talks.
Well, Klopp's also responded to Jose Mourinho's claims that Liverpool must win the Premier League this season after their big spending summer. He's dismissed those comments as mind games, but he insists this campaign can be a success even if Liverpool don't become champions.
One of my biggest goals in life is to make Jose smile. At least it doesn't happen too often, so if it's because of Liverpool, Well done. No, it's all good. It's. I don't even think it's a mind game. It's completely normal. I said a few things. I cannot really remember exactly what I said, but I know what I said about a Pogba transfer. And it's only, I don't think, I would never talk about Manchester United if nobody asks me about it, but I'm polite enough to give an answer if somebody asks me. That's not always the smartest way to do. Maybe you would better ignore that as well, but so it happens. And I have absolutely no problem with Jose Mourinho, what he's saying. It's a free world, and he can say whatever he wants, and if he's happy about our transfers, even better.
Do you have to win a trophy? Do you have to win the Premier League for it to be a success this season?
I don't think so. We have to. Improvement means playing better football, being more consistent. What does it mean? Do you have to? Do I get the sack then? If not, depends to the football we play probably. Do the people think now he's here 3.5 years or whatever, or 4 years nearly, and still we didn't win anything? I have no clue in this moment. The only thing what I can say is we will try everything what we can to be as successful as possible, and at the end we will see.
Plenty more still to come on Transfer Centre. There's also a new programme, Transfer Centre Extra. It's available on demand tonight, and it takes a look behind the scenes here at Sky Sports News. We also delve into football analytics and how they mould the world of transfers. And up next, we'll have more on why Jordan Pickford is being touted to replace Thibaut Courtois at Chelsea. Plus, we'll hear from Unai Emery on Alex Iwobi's uncertain future and hear what Petr Cech has to say about fighting for his place.
Welcome back to the Transfer Centre this Friday evening. A reminder of our top story tonight. We understand Chelsea have made Jordan Pickford their top transfer target if, as expected, Courtois moves to Real Madrid in this window. Now, it's our understanding that Chelsea are yet to make contact over England's #1, but Everton are likely to resist any approach for Pickford, who they signed last summer for £30 million. So I will clear the way, and we can take a look now at how Pickford compares to the keeper that he could be replacing, Chelsea's Thibaut Courtois. Well, Courtois kept 5 more clean sheets in the Premier League last season, and he conceded 24 fewer goals. But Pickford made 45 more saves than Courtois did, as Chelsea finished 5th, 3 places above Everton in the eventual table. Let's get on to Toby Alderweireld tonight, and with time running out, it's our belief that Manchester United and Tottenham remain way apart in their valuation of a deal for the centre-back. Tottenham value the defender in excess of £50 million. However, United don't share that valuation of a player with a year left on his current deal. Spurs do have the option to extend Alderweireld's contract by an extra 12 months until 2020, but it would trigger a £25 million release clause next summer. And Harry Maguire is also a United target. We know that. They value him at £65 million. But Leicester have told United Maguire is not for sale. So how would he deal with a potential move to Old Trafford?
Well, I think when you can do it on the highest stage of the World Cup, then he should be ready. It's a big step up. Of course, he's playing for a club like Manchester United if that was to happen for him, but I'm sure he'd take it in his stride because he seems that type of lad that nothing seems to faze him. Maguire's played a lot more over the last few years, probably slightly younger. Ultimately, I think it would come down to which one's going to be available. Both Tottenham and Leicester City may not want to sell. One club maybe want to sell or not. It's very difficult at this time of the year that people are linked with so many moves, but obviously got to be 2 willing parties to make that happen.
Let's get to Arsenal tonight. Head coach Unai Emery has confirmed Alex Iwobi is set to sign a new contract with the club. Iwobi scored 3 goals in 29 appearances last season and had been linked with a move to Serie A.
I have the information. Usually he's near, and I want first to work with every players. These weeks they are coming. They are starting Mesut, Iwobi, Elneny to work with us, and the first impression, the first week is very good with them. And my information is he's going to sign to continue with us.
Well, the very same Emery has also reiterated that he wants to sign another player before the close of this transfer window. Emery has also spent just over £70 million on 5 new additions in his first summer in charge.
For me, if one player we can, or the possibility to sign another player, isn't very important now, but while the windows is open, we can this possibility to use.
And one of those new additions is the goalkeeper Bernd Leno from Bayer Leverkusen. But what does that mean for Petr Cech? That's the question tonight. Cech's been linked with a move back to Chelsea.
At the start, I said that I want to fight for my place in this team. That I will come, I will honor my contract, and unless the club will tell me to go, then I will do as I said. So I'm performing every day. I'm trying to, train hard and be ready when my opportunities come. As every new player, you need to find a way to adapt in the team. There are so many things that might be new for the new players, including Bernd, but he's been working really, really hard and really well every training, and I think that that's the only way as a new player what you can do. And I'm sure that he has the same ambition as I have, obviously, and then we need to see what will be the outcome.
Also, plenty of ongoing speculation about this man, Aaron Ramsey. Very popular midfielder. He has 12 months left in his current deal, and earlier this week he admitted he was uncertain about his future.
Of course, he's an important player for us, and it's been always important player for us, and I think that he showed since the day one of the preseason, then how hungry he is for success, and he wants to do well. So he's training really well, and I think in every preseason game so far he's been good.
Let's turn our attention to some of the big names at this summer's World Cup. Now, we know Real Madrid want to sign Eden Hazard, but they also have other targets. One of them is PSG striker Edinson Cavani. Now, he had a really impressive World Cup with Uruguay, and Madrid, of course, have money to spend after selling Ronaldo to Juventus. Cavani scored 40 times last season, and there are question marks in Paris about his relationship with Neymar. Another World Cup star who is in demand is Axel Witsel. The Belgian midfielder has been playing in China for Tianjin. Borussia Dortmund and PSG interested in signing him. He is keen on coming back to play in Europe. And also staying with in-demand midfielders from the World Cup, Steven Nzonzi is likely to leave Sevilla this summer. He has a £35 million release clause. That is too much for Arsenal at the moment, but Roma are now looking at him as a potential replacement for Radja Nainggolan. Barcelona also interested. Let's go to West Ham United because, of course, they've spent big money this summer and they're still in the market for more players. They've held talks about signing Porto striker Moussa Marega. Now, he scored 23 times last season to help Porto win the Portuguese title. Porto asking for £22 million for him. West Ham also close to agreeing a deal to sell Pedro Obiang to Sampdoria, but this deal will only go ahead if Obiang wants to move. West Ham don't want to sell. He's seen as a key player under new manager Manuel Pellegrini.
More from Liverpool now. We told you earlier that Simon Mignolet could be on the way out of Anfield. What about others potentially coming in? Jurgen Klopp's already brought in close to £200 million worth of players, and he's told us he might not be finished yet. But he has revealed Liverpool's pursuit of Lyon forward Nabil Fekir is likely over.
We saw what happened with Fekir. Is that completely gone as well?
Nothing really to say about that. I said already something about it around a preseason game. I don't know exactly which one. It's probably done, but yeah, 2 weeks left, and I don't want to. If nothing happens with our boys, then I'm happy. It's fine, so we can go. But if something happens, I think you always have to make sure that you can react. Then, if not now, then next year, whatever. This business, transfer business, never ends.
Now to Scotland, and Steven Gerrard's already brought Alan McGregor back to Rangers for a second spell this summer. We understand the club's also made an offer for former striker Carl Lafferty, who's now with Hearts. But sources are telling us the bid, worth around £200,000, fell well short of Hearts' valuation. Lafferty scored 19 goals for Hearts last season and was their top scorer. He played for Rangers between 2008 and 2012. Rangers chairman Dave King said earlier this week he expected the club to make 1 or 2 more signings in the coming days. Right now to some done deals. Chelsea target Alexander Golovin has completed his move to Monaco from CSKA Moscow. The midfielder who impressed for Russia at the World Cup has signed a 5-year deal at Monaco. Everton's Davy Klaassen has signed for German side Werder Bremen. The Dutchman moved to Goodison last summer but has struggled to hold down a regular starting place. And a reminder, the next full roundup of all the transfer news is at 7 p.m. right here on Sky Sports News. And that's not all. There are less than 2 weeks to go until deadline day. We'll bring you unrivaled coverage on what promises to be a fascinating and dramatic climax to this transfer window. That's from 6 a.m. on Thursday, August the 9th, right here on Sky Sports News.
Still to come, we're going to continue the countdown to the heavyweight clash that could provide Anthony Joshua's next opponent, Dillian Whyte and Joseph Parker, head-to-head next. And we'll have Formula One action as well. Rachel will like this. Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes, well, they struggled in practice for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We'll tell you how his main title rival, Vettel, got on.